My beloved child, before you continue with the noise of your day, stay here with me for a little while, because this moment is not an accident. I know you have wondered whether anyone truly sees the weight you have been carrying, whether anyone understands the silent battles that never appear on your face. But I have seen every single one of them. Before the first tear ever reached your eyes, I already knew what your heart would endure. Before the words of disappointment were spoken over your life, I had already prepared comfort for your soul. You may have felt overlooked by people, forgotten by those you trusted, or left behind, while others seemed to move ahead. But my eyes have never turned away from you. Every prayer you whispered in the darkness reached me. Every restless night, every moment you questioned your purpose, every time you chose to keep believing when everything around you suggested giving up, I was there beside you. Even when you could not feel my presence, my hand remained upon your life. My child, do not mistake silence for absence. There are seasons when I work quietly beneath the surface, preparing blessings that cannot be seen until the perfect moment arrives. Just as a seed grows underground long before anyone sees the first sign of life, I have been growing something extraordinary within you. What feels slow to you has never been forgotten by me. Every delay has been shaping your character, strengthening your faith, and preparing you for responsibilities greater than you can currently imagine. If I had answered every prayer the moment you asked, you would have received the gift before you were ready to carry it. But my love is wiser than your impatience. I do not simply give blessings, I prepare hearts to steward them with wisdom, humility, and gratitude. That is why you are still standing today. Not because life has been easy, but because my grace has quietly sustained you through every difficult season. I know there were mornings when you smiled while hiding exhaustion. I know there were evenings when your heart felt so heavy that words could no longer express what you were feeling. I heard the prayers you prayed without speaking. I understood the tears you could not explain. Nothing about your life has escaped my attention. Even the disappointments that made no sense to you have become part of a greater story that I am writing. You have looked at closed doors and wondered why they remained locked. But I protected you from places that would have stolen your peace. You questioned why certain relationships ended. Yet I removed what could not walk with you into your next season. What appeared to be rejection was often my loving redirection. My child, lift your eyes beyond today's circumstances, because your future is not being determined by today's obstacles. It is being shaped by my promises. I have never abandoned what my hands have created, and I will not begin with you. You belong to me. I formed you with purpose long before anyone knew your name. Every gift inside you was placed there intentionally. Every strength you possess has a reason. Even your scars carry lessons that will one day become healing for someone else. Do not despise the journey you have walked, because I have wasted none of it. The pain that tried to break you has instead deepened your compassion. The waiting that frustrated you has strengthened your endurance. The disappointments that made you question everything have taught you to depend on me instead of temporary things. This is why your story will carry hope for others. They will not only see where you arrived, they will remember where I brought you from. My child, there is a new season beginning, and I want your heart to be ready for it. Release the fear that keeps reminding you of yesterday. Stop measuring tomorrow through the failures of your past. I am not limited by what happened before. I create new beginnings where people only see endings. I make rivers in dry places and open paths where none seem possible. What seems impossible to human understanding is never impossible for me. Trust my timing even when you cannot trace my hand. I see every detail of your future at once, while you can only see the next step. That is why I ask you to walk by faith instead of fear. Each step of obedience is bringing you closer to the life I have prepared for you. Do not compare your journey with anyone else's, because I have written a unique story for every one of my children. Their timing is not your timing. Their calling is not your calling. What I have prepared specifically for you cannot be replaced by someone else's success. Rest in that truth today. Let your heart become quiet in my presence. Lay every burden at my feet. Release every anxious thought that has stolen your sleep. You were never created to carry tomorrow's worries alone. Bring them to me, and I will give you strength for today and hope for tomorrow. My peace is not dependent on your circumstances. It flows from my presence, and my presence has never left you. Even now, while you are listening to these words, I am renewing your courage. I am reminding your spirit that your story is far from over. There are victories you have not yet seen, prayers I am still answering, doors I am preparing to open, and people I am positioning to encourage you along the way. Do not give up just before the sunrise. Night never lasts forever, and neither will this difficult season. Hold on to my promises a little longer. Keep trusting me one more day. Keep believing one more prayer. What I have begun in your life, I will faithfully complete. If these words are speaking directly to your heart, pause for a moment and write asterisk, amen, asterisk, in the comments as a simple declaration of faith, not because your comment earns my love, but because it reminds your own heart that you are choosing faith over fear. Stay with me, because what I am about to reveal next will show you why every season of waiting has been preparing you for something far greater than you have imagined. My beloved child, I know there were moments when you wondered if your prayers had simply disappeared into the silence, as though heaven had forgotten your name. I understand why your heart grew tired after waiting so long. You watched opportunities pass by, relationships change, and doors close without explanation. You questioned whether you had made a wrong turn or missed the purpose I had planned for you. But hear me clearly today. You have never been outside of my care, not for a single moment. Even when life felt uncertain, my hand was quietly guiding every step you took. I was protecting you from dangers you could not see, redirecting you away from paths that would have stolen your peace, and preparing you for blessings that required greater wisdom than you possessed at the time. My child, waiting is never wasted when your life is in my hands. While you believed nothing was happening, I was arranging circumstances beyond your understanding. I was touching hearts you have never met. I was opening opportunities that did not yet exist. I was aligning moments that would unfold exactly when you were ready to receive them. Trust me when I say that I never delay without purpose. Every season has its assignment, and even this season of waiting has been shaping something beautiful within you. I have been teaching you to trust me more deeply than your circumstances. I have been strengthening your faith so it is rooted in my promises, instead of temporary emotions. There will come a day when you look back and realize that the answers you begged for too early would never have brought lasting peace. My timing has always been an expression of my love, not a denial of your desires. I know your heart longs for clarity. You want to understand every step before you take it. Yet faith has never been about seeing the entire road ahead. Faith is choosing to believe my voice even when the destination remains hidden. Think of all the times I carried you through situations that once seemed impossible at the time. You could not imagine how you would survive. Yet here you are today. That was not your strength alone. That was my grace holding you together. When you felt like everything was falling apart, I have been closer than your next breath, even during the days you questioned whether I was listening. My child, do not let disappointment become the lens through which you view your future. The pain of yesterday does not have permission to define tomorrow. I am doing a new work within you, one that cannot be measured by what has happened before. There are gifts inside you that have not yet been discovered, strengths you have not yet realized, and opportunities that will reveal why every difficult chapter was necessary. I am not finished writing your story. What feels like an ending is often the place where my greatest work begins. Remember that I specialize in bringing life where others see only loss. I restore hope where fear once ruled. I breathe courage into weary hearts and peace into restless minds. So release the burden of trying to control everything. You were never created to carry the weight of the future alone. Place it in my hands because my hands have never failed. They formed the stars, calmed the seas, and still hold your life with perfect care. The same power that sustains the universe is watching over you today. There is nothing too complicated for me to restore, nothing too broken for me to heal, and nothing too impossible for me to accomplish according to my will. My child, I also want you to forgive yourself for the mistakes that continue to haunt your thoughts. Stop replaying old failures as though they have the final word over your life. When I forgive, I do not hold your past against you. I invite you to walk forward in freedom. Shame keeps your eyes fixed on yesterday, but my grace calls you toward tomorrow. Let my mercy wash away every accusation that tells you that you are not enough. Your worth has never been determined by your failures. Your identity is found in my love, and my love has never changed. I chose you knowing every weakness you would ever have. I called you long before you learned to trust me fully. That means your imperfections have never surprised me. Instead of hiding from me, come closer. Bring me your fears, your questions, your disappointments, and your hopes. I am not asking for perfection. I am inviting you into relationship. The closer you walk with me, the more clearly you will recognize my voice above every distraction. Peace will begin to replace confusion. Courage will begin to overcome fear. Hope will begin to rise where discouragement once lived. My child, there are people whose lives will one day be changed because you refuse to give up during this difficult season. Your testimony is being written even now. Someone will find hope because they witnessed your faith. Someone will believe again because they saw my faithfulness in your journey. Never underestimate the purpose hidden within your perseverance. Every quiet act of obedience matters. Every decision to trust me instead of fear is building a foundation that cannot be shaken. So lift your head today. Take another step forward. Refuse to believe the lie that nothing is changing. I am working in ways your eyes cannot yet see. Every promise I have spoken over your life remains secure. In my hands, the right doors will open at the right time. The right people will arrive. The right opportunities will appear exactly when they are meant to. Until then, remain faithful where you are. Continue praying. Continue loving. Continue trusting. Continue believing that my plans for you are filled with hope and purpose. If these words are strengthening your heart today, write ***. I trust you, Lord ***, in the comments as your declaration of faith. Then stay with me, because in the next part, I will reveal how I transform your greatest disappointments into the very foundation of your future blessings. My precious child, I know there have been days when disappointment settled so deeply into your heart that you began expecting more pain than peace. You smiled for others while quietly carrying burdens no one could see. You kept moving forward, even when every step felt heavy. And you wondered if your faith was making any difference at all. But I want you to hear my voice above every fearful thought that has tried to define your future. I have never abandoned you, and I never will. Every tear you believed had fallen unnoticed has been precious in my sight. Every prayer whispered through exhaustion reached my heart before the words even left your lips. You may have thought I was silent, but I was never inactive. While you waited, I was working beyond what your natural eyes could understand. I was strengthening your character in places where comfort never could. I was teaching you patience that would sustain future blessings. I was building within you a faith that would remain steady even when circumstances changed. My child, I am more interested in transforming your heart than simply changing your situation, because a renewed heart can remain at peace even when life is uncertain. Do not be discouraged by the battles you have faced. Every challenge has been preparing you for greater responsibility. Gold is refined by fire, and faith becomes stronger through perseverance. The storms you endured were never sent to destroy you. Instead, they revealed the strength that my Spirit has been building inside you all along. There were moments when you believed you had reached your limit, yet somehow you found the courage to take another step. That courage did not come from your own ability. It came from my presence quietly carrying you when your strength was gone. I have been your shelter in every unseen battle, your comfort in every lonely night, and your peace in moments when anxiety tried to overwhelm your heart, even when you questioned your own value. My love for you never changed. My child, stop measuring your future by your past disappointments. What happened yesterday does not determine what I am able to do tomorrow. I am not limited by closed doors, human opinions, or impossible circumstances. I am the one who creates opportunities where none appear to exist. I can restore relationships, provide wisdom for impossible decisions, and bring hope into situations that seem beyond repair. But first, I need you to release the fear that keeps telling you nothing will ever change. Fear speaks with the voice of limitation, but my promises speak with the authority of truth. Choose to believe my voice above every negative thought that has tried to take root in your mind. Every morning that you wake up is evidence that my purpose for your life is still unfolding. I have not brought you this far to leave you without direction. The path ahead may not always be easy, but you will never walk it alone when you cannot see the next step. Hold my hand instead of your words. My wisdom reaches beyond every uncertainty. I already know the conversations you will have tomorrow, the opportunities waiting around the corner, and the answers that are on their way. Nothing surprises me, and because nothing surprises me, you can rest in confidence instead of living in fear. My child, I also want you to understand that true blessing is more than receiving what you have prayed for. Real blessing is becoming the person I created you to be. It is learning to love even after being hurt. It is choosing forgiveness when bitterness seems easier. It is remaining faithful when recognition does not come quickly. It is trusting my goodness even when you cannot yet see the outcome. These quiet victories are shaping your spirit into someone who reflects my character. Never think they are small, because heaven celebrates every step of obedience that draws you closer to me. There are people watching your life who may never speak a word about it, yet they are noticing your faith. They are observing how you continue to hope despite difficulties, how you continue to show kindness after disappointment, and how you continue to seek me when others would have walked away. Your life is becoming a testimony long before you realize it. One day, someone will ask how you remained strong through seasons that should have broken you, and you will be able to tell them that it was my grace that carried you every step of the way. That testimony will encourage hearts you have never imagined reaching. So do not despise this season. Every lesson you are learning today will become wisdom that blesses someone else tomorrow. My child, I am inviting you to lay down every burden that has stolen your joy. Release the pressure of trying to have every answer. Stop believing that you must carry every responsibility alone. My shoulders are strong enough for what makes yours weary. My peace is deeper than your anxiety. My love is greater than your fear. Come to me exactly as you are, not pretending to be stronger than you feel, not hiding your questions, not covering your wounds. I already know every part of your heart, and I welcome you with compassion instead of condemnation. Let my presence become the place where your soul finds rest again. Spend time with me each day, even if only for a few quiet moments. In that stillness, I will renew your strength, calm your thoughts, and remind you of truths that the world cannot give. As you continue walking with me, you will begin to notice subtle changes within yourself. Peace will replace panic. Confidence will replace insecurity. Gratitude will replace constant worry. You will recognize my fingerprints on moments that once seemed ordinary, and your faith will become stronger because you have learned to see me even in the smallest details of life. My child, the story I am writing through your life is far more beautiful than the chapter you are reading today. Trust the author who already knows the ending. I have not forgotten my promises, and I will complete everything I have begun in you. Keep your heart open, your faith alive, and your eyes fixed on me, because what lies ahead is greater than what lies behind. If this message is encouraging your spirit, write **** God is leading me *** in the comments as a declaration of faith, and stay with me, because in the next part I will show you how I prepare unexpected opportunities and divine connections that will guide you into the next season of your journey. My beloved child, there is something I need you to understand before you take another step forward. The greatest battles you have faced were never meant to convince you that I had abandoned you. They were opportunities for you to discover that my strength is far greater than your weakness. I know there were nights when your mind refused to rest, replaying every disappointment and every unanswered question. I know there were mornings when you forced yourself to smile even though your heart was exhausted. You wondered how much longer you could keep believing, how much longer you could keep hoping when nothing around you seemed to change. Yet every time you chose to trust me instead of surrendering to despair, your faith grew stronger than you realized. You may have felt fragile, but I was building an unshakable foundation within your spirit. The world often measures strength by what people can accomplish on their own. But my kingdom measures strength by the willingness to depend on me completely. That is why I have been teaching you to release what you cannot control. Some burdens were never meant for your shoulders. Some battles were never yours to fight. Some answers were never yours to discover before the right time. When you place those concerns into my hands, you make room for my peace to fill your heart. My peace does not depend on perfect circumstances. It remains steady, even when everything around you seems uncertain, because it comes from my presence, not from the world. My child, stop believing the lie that you have fallen behind. The world is constantly telling you to compare your life with everyone else's journey, but comparison has never been part of my plan for you. I did not create you to copy someone else's purpose. I created you with gifts that are uniquely yours, experiences that have shaped you differently, and a calling that no one else can fulfill exactly as you can. Every season of your life has been preparing you for that purpose. Even the painful chapters have added wisdom that success alone could never teach. The tears you cried in secret have softened your heart with compassion. The disappointments you endured have taught you humility. The waiting has strengthened your patience. None of these experiences were wasted. I have been weaving every chapter together into a testimony that will reveal my faithfulness. One day you will look back and recognize that what seemed like delays were actually divine preparations. You will understand why certain opportunities disappeared, why certain relationships ended, and why certain dreams took longer than expected. In that moment, gratitude will replace every question, because you will finally see how my hand was protecting and guiding you all along. My child, I also want you to guard your heart against discouragement. Discouragement quietly steals hope by convincing you that tomorrow will look exactly like yesterday. But I am the God who continually makes all things new. I am not limited by your past experiences or by the opinions of people around you. I can open doors that no human effort could unlock. I can bring restoration where everyone else expects permanent loss. I can create opportunities that appear impossible from a human perspective. Never underestimate what I can accomplish in a single moment of my perfect timing. Continue planting seeds of faith, even when you cannot yet see the harvest. Continue choosing kindness even when others misunderstand you. Continue praying even when answers seem delayed. Continue believing even when fear whispers that nothing will change. Every act of faith is precious to me. Every quiet decision to trust me strengthens your spirit and prepares you for what lies ahead. My child, remember that I have never asked you to carry your future alone. I simply ask you to walk with me one day at a time. Do not become overwhelmed by tomorrow's questions. I will provide tomorrow's grace when tomorrow arrives. Today, I invite you to receive the strength I am offering right now. Breathe deeply in my presence. Let my promises settle into your heart. Allow my truth to silence every voice of fear and self-doubt. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not walking without direction. I know exactly where you are, and I know exactly where I am leading you. Even when the road becomes unfamiliar, my light will continue to guide your steps. My child, I am already preparing people who will encourage you, opportunities that will develop your gifts, and moments that will remind you that I have been working behind the scenes all along. Some of those blessings will arrive in ways you never expected because my plans are often greater than your imagination. Remain humble enough to receive them with gratitude and wise enough to recognize that every good gift comes from me. As you continue to seek my presence above everything else, you will discover that the greatest treasure has never been the blessing itself. It has always been walking closely with me. That relationship will sustain you through every season, every victory, and every challenge still to come. So lift your eyes once again. Let hope rise where fear once lived. Let faith become stronger than doubt. I am still writing your story, and the chapters ahead will reveal more of my goodness than you have yet experienced. Stay close to me, trust my voice, and continue moving forward with confidence, because I will never leave your side. If this message has encouraged your heart today, write **** my hope is in the Lord **** in the comments. And stay with me, because in the next part I will reveal how I bring healing to the deepest places of your heart and restore what you believed was lost forever. My beloved child, I know there are wounds within your heart that no one else has ever seen. There are memories you rarely speak about because the pain still feels too heavy to describe. You have learned how to continue living while quietly carrying burdens that others never noticed. There were moments when you believed you had moved on, only to discover that a single reminder could bring the hurt rushing back again. But listen carefully to my voice today. I do not only see the victories you celebrate, I also see the battles you hide. I know the disappointment that settled into your spirit when people you trusted walked away. I know the dreams that seemed to fade before they had a chance to grow. I know the prayers you repeated over and over, wondering if heaven was still listening. My child, I have never turned away from your pain. I have been walking beside you through every chapter, even when my presence seemed quiet. I understand every emotion that you struggle to explain because I created your heart. Nothing about your story surprises me. Nothing about your past disqualifies you from the future I have prepared. Do not allow old wounds to convince you that healing is impossible. I am the one who restores what the world believes is beyond repair. I can bring peace to the places where anxiety once lived. I can replace bitterness with compassion, fear with courage, and sorrow with lasting joy. Healing is not forgetting what happened. Healing is allowing my love to become greater than the pain that once defined you. Every day you choose to trust me, I am gently rebuilding the places inside your heart that were broken by disappointment. Some changes happen quickly, while others unfold little by little, but never mistake slow healing for the absence of my work. Just as the sunrise does not appear all at once, restoration often comes one quiet moment at a time. My child, do not hold tightly to the weight of yesterday. There are seasons you were meant to remember for wisdom, but not to relive through constant regret. Release every accusation you continue speaking against yourself. Stop believing that your mistakes have the power to cancel my purpose. My mercy is greater than your failures. My grace reaches farther than your regrets. When I forgive, I invite you to move forward instead of remaining imprisoned by the past. The enemy wants you to keep looking backward because he knows that a heart trapped in regret struggles to walk confidently into the future. But I am calling you to lift your eyes once again. There is new hope ahead of you. There are fresh beginnings waiting beyond this season. There are blessings that require you to let go of what has already ended. Trust me enough to release what you cannot change. I will never ask you to carry burdens that my love is willing to carry for you, my child. I am also teaching you the beauty of forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean pretending the pain never happened, nor does it mean allowing others to continue hurting you. Forgiveness is choosing freedom instead of allowing bitterness to remain in your heart. Bitterness quietly steals joy, clouds wisdom, and keeps old wounds alive. But when you surrender those hurts to me, I begin replacing them with a peace that no human explanation can fully describe. There is freedom waiting on the other side of surrender. There is joy waiting beyond the place where you choose to trust my justice instead of demanding your own. I see every wrong that has ever been done to you, and I am perfectly able to bring justice in my time. You do not have to carry the burden of revenge because I am your defender. Leave those matters in my hands and allow your heart to become light again, my child. I also want you to know that your future will not resemble every painful chapter from your past. Do not expect tomorrow to repeat yesterday's disappointments. I am leading you into a season where wisdom will replace confusion, where peace will overcome fear, and where renewed confidence will begin to grow within you. You will notice my guidance in unexpected conversations, in quiet moments of prayer, and in opportunities that seem to arrive at exactly the right time. Those moments are not coincidences. They are reminders that I have been directing your steps all along. Continue seeking me before making important decisions. Invite me into every area of your life, not only during difficult moments but also during seasons of joy and abundance. The closer you remain to my heart, the easier it will become to recognize my direction. My child, never believe that you are too broken to be used by me. Throughout history, I have always worked through ordinary people who were willing to trust me despite their weaknesses. I do not look for perfect people. I look for willing hearts. Your scars do not disqualify you. They become evidence of my healing. Your struggles do not define your identity. My love does. The story I am writing through your life will encourage people who have nearly lost hope. They will see that my grace is able to restore what seemed impossible. So continue walking forward without fear. Continue believing my promises even when you cannot yet see their fulfillment. Continue choosing faith over discouragement, gratitude over complaint, and love over resentment. Every step you take in obedience is preparing you for greater things than you have imagined. I am not finished with your story. The chapters ahead will reveal more healing, more peace, and more purpose than you can presently understand. If these words have spoken to your heart, write asterisks, Jesus is healing. Me asterisk in the comments as a declaration of faith. And stay with me, because in the next part I will reveal how I am opening new doors and leading you into opportunities that no one can take away. My beloved child, I want you to lift your eyes beyond what you can see today, because I have already gone before you into the days that are still hidden from your view. While you have been wondering how everything will come together, I have been preparing the path one step at a time. There are conversations taking place that you know nothing about. There are hearts I am gently moving. There are opportunities forming behind doors that have not yet opened. Do not believe that because you cannot see my work, I am no longer working. Some of my greatest miracles begin in complete silence, just as the sunrise slowly pushes back the darkness before the world fully notices. I have been bringing light into situations that once seemed impossible. My child, I know that uncertainty can make your heart restless. You naturally want to know what comes next. You want reassurance that everything will be all right before you take another step. But I am inviting you into a deeper trust, one that rests not in visible answers but in my unchanging character. Have I not carried you through every season before this one? Have I not provided strength when your own strength was gone? Have I not opened doors you never expected and closed doors that would have harmed you? Let every past victory remind you that I remain the same today. I do not change with circumstances. My promises do not weaken because the road becomes difficult. My love for you has never depended on your performance, and my purpose for your life has never been canceled by your mistakes. You are still my child, and I am still guiding every step you take. There are moments when you wonder why certain opportunities slipped away just when they seemed within reach. You question whether you had failed, or whether I had forgotten the desires of your heart. But I ask you to trust that what I remove is often an act of protection rather than punishment. I can see what lies beyond every decision, every relationship, and every opportunity. You can only see what is directly in front. If I close a door, it is because I know what stands behind it. If I delay an answer, it is because I know what will happen if it arrives too soon. My wisdom reaches far beyond the limits of human understanding. One day you will thank me not only for the blessings I gave you, but also for the things I lovingly kept from you. There are paths that appeared beautiful, but would have drained your peace. There were relationships that seemed promising, but would have pulled your heart away from my purpose. There were moments when disappointment became my protection, even though you could not recognize it at the time. Trust that my vision is complete while yours is still unfolding. Me, child, I am calling you to prepare your heart for the new season that is approaching. New opportunities require new faith. New responsibilities require greater wisdom. Do not carry old fears into the future. I am preparing for you. Lay them down today. Stop expecting every new chapter to end like the last one. The past may have taught you caution, but it must not steal your hope. I am doing something fresh within your life. I am awakening gifts that have been quietly waiting beneath the surface. I am placing new ideas within your heart. I am developing abilities you never realized you possessed. Do not dismiss the quiet desires I have planted inside you. Continue to seek me, and I will reveal how those desires fit into the purpose I have designed specifically for you. Every gift I have given you was meant to glorify me and to bring hope into the lives of others. You were never created to live without purpose. Your life carries meaning far beyond what you currently understand. As you continue walking with me, you will begin to notice divine moments that seem too perfectly arranged to be coincidence. You will meet people who encourage your faith at exactly the right time. You will receive wisdom when confusion once filled your mind. You will discover strength you did not know you possessed. Those moments are reminders that I am actively involved in every detail of your journey. Nothing happens outside my knowledge. Every step of obedience opens the way for greater trust, and greater trust allows you to experience my peace more deeply. Do not become discouraged if a tree does not become strong overnight. Its roots grow quietly beneath the ground long before anyone notices its strength. In the same way, I have been deepening your faith where no one else can see it. The roots I am growing within your spirit will sustain you through every season that lies ahead. Me, child, never forget that true success is not measured only by what you accomplish, but by the condition of your heart as you walk with me. I desire that you become a person filled with compassion, integrity, humility, and unwavering faith. These qualities are treasures that cannot be taken away by changing circumstances. Wealth may come and go, recognition may rise and fall, but a heart surrendered to me carries peace that the world cannot give and cannot take away. That is the inheritance I desire for you above all else. Continue choosing honesty when compromise seems easier. Continue choosing kindness when others choose bitterness. Continue choosing forgiveness when resentment tries to take root. Every one of those decisions reflects my character within you, and each one prepares you for greater influence in the days ahead. Do not lose heart because of what you have not yet received. Instead, be grateful for how far I have already brought you. There were seasons you once thought you would never survive. Yet my grace carried you through every one of them. The same grace that sustained you yesterday will sustain you tomorrow. My plans for your life are still unfolding, and nothing can stop what I have established according to my perfect will. Keep seeking me with all your heart. Keep placing your trust in my promises. Keep walking forward even when the road seems unfamiliar, because every faithful step is leading you closer to the purpose I prepared for you long before you were born. If these words are strengthening your faith today, write **** the Lord is guiding my steps *** in the comments. And remain with me, because in the next part, I will reveal how I replace fear with lasting peace and fill your heart with unshakable confidence for the future. My beloved child, I know that fear has tried to become a permanent guest in your heart. It has whispered that your best days are behind you, that the opportunities you prayed for have already passed, and that your future will always be limited by your past. But those whispers have never come from me. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of love, of strength, and of a sound mind. Every time fear tells you to expect failure, my truth reminds you to expect my faithfulness. Every time anxiety tries to convince you that you are alone, my presence surrounds you with a peace that cannot be explained by human understanding. You do not have to know every detail about tomorrow because I already stand in your tomorrow. I have walked every road before you take your first step. Nothing that surprises you has ever surprised me. I know every conversation you will have, every decision you will face, every challenge that will attempt to discourage you, and every blessing that is waiting in its appointed season. Because I know the end from the beginning, you can trust me with what you cannot yet understand. My child, stop allowing your imagination to become a place where fear grows stronger, then fill your heart with my promises instead of endless worries. When anxious thoughts begin to rise, bring them before me. Speak to me honestly. Tell me what troubles your heart, and then allow my peace to quiet the storm within you. I never become tired of hearing your voice. I never grow impatient with your questions. I welcome every conversation because I desire a relationship with you that is built upon. Do not think that you must hide your struggles from me. I already know them, and my invitation remains the same. Come closer, not farther away. My child, there are blessings that cannot be received by a heart consumed with worry. That is why I've been teaching you to surrender. Surrender is not giving up. It is placing your confidence in my ability instead of your own. It is believing that even when you cannot solve every problem, I remain fully capable of leading you through it. The burden becomes lighter when you stop carrying what belongs in my hands. Rest is not laziness. Rest is an act of faith. It is choosing to believe that while you sleep, I continue working. While you wait, I continue preparing. While you pray, I continue moving in ways you cannot yet see. Never mistake stillness for inactivity. Some of my greatest works take place quietly beyond the reach of human eyes. My child, guard your thoughts carefully, because what you continually believe will shape how you walk through each day. Do not allow negative voices to become louder than my truth. The world may define you by your failures, your income, your appearance, or your past, but I define you by my love. You are my child. You are deeply loved. You are chosen for a purpose that no one else can fulfill. You were not created to live beneath constant fear or endless insecurity. I created you to walk in confidence that comes from knowing who you are in me. Confidence is not pride. Confidence is quiet assurance that I will remain faithful, regardless of what circumstances may say. Even if the road becomes difficult, I will remain beside you. Even if people misunderstand you, I will never misunderstand your heart. Even if others forget your kindness, I remember every act of love that has been offered in my name. Nothing done with a sincere heart is ever wasted in my kingdom. My child, I also want you to become a source of peace for those around you. The world is filled with people who carry hidden burdens, just as you once did. As I comfort you, I will also use you to comfort others. The compassion you have gained through your own struggles will become a gift that encourages weary hearts. Never underestimate a kind word, a listening ear, or a simple act of generosity. Small acts of love often create changes that only eternity will fully reveal. As you continue walking with me, my character will become more visible through your life. Others will notice a peace they cannot explain, a hope that remains even during difficult seasons, and a joy that does not depend on perfect circumstances. That is because my Spirit is transforming you from the inside out. Do not become discouraged if the process feels slow. Growth that lasts is rarely rushed. Just as strong trees develop deep roots before they produce abundant fruit, I have been strengthening the unseen parts of your faith. In time, the fruit will become visible to everyone around you. My child, remember that I have already written hope into your future. There will be days of celebration ahead. There will be prayers answered in ways that leave you humbled by my goodness. There will be moments when you suddenly realize why certain doors had to remain closed, and why certain delays became blessings in disguise. On that day you will smile, not because life has always been easy, but because you will clearly see my hand guiding you through every chapter. Until then, continue trusting me. Continue walking faithfully. Continue speaking words of hope instead of defeat. Continue believing that I am working even when you cannot yet see the evidence. My promises remain secure. My love remains constant. And my plans for your life remain full of hope. If these words have strengthened your spirit today, write asterisk asterisk. I choose faith over fear asterisk asterisk in the comments as your declaration before the Lord. Stay with me, because in the next part I will reveal how I am preparing you not only to receive blessings, but also to become a blessing that brings light, hope, and encouragement to everyone I place along your path. My beloved child, there is a reason I have allowed you to walk through seasons that tested your patience and stretched your faith. It was never to weaken you. It was always to prepare you. Every challenge has been shaping your character in ways that comfort never could. The world often celebrates quick success, but I delight in hearts that remain faithful through every season. You may not have noticed how much you have grown because growth often happens quietly. The person you are today is not the same person who first cried out to me months or years ago. I have strengthened your spirit, softened your heart, increased your wisdom, and taught you to depend on me in ways you never imagined. There was a time when every setback seemed like the end of your story, but now you are beginning to understand that every setback can become a stepping stone when your life is placed in my hands. I have been teaching you that your value is not determined by the applause of people or the approval of the world. Your worth has always been established by my love. Before anyone believed in you, I called you my own. Before anyone recognized your gifts, I had already placed them within you. Before you took your first breath, I had already written purpose into your life. Never doubt that you were created intentionally. There is nothing accidental about your existence. Every experience, every lesson, every victory, and every hardship has become part of a story that I will use for my glory. My child, do not underestimate the influence of a life that is surrendered to me. You may think your prayers are small, your acts of kindness unnoticed, or your obedience insignificant, but heaven sees what the world overlooks. Every encouraging word you speak, every act of forgiveness you choose, Every moment you remain faithful when no one is watching becomes a seed planted in my kingdom. In time, those seeds will produce a harvest beyond what you can currently imagine. Some of the lives you will impact are people you may never even meet. A single act of compassion can become the beginning of someone else's restoration. A simple prayer can strengthen a heart that was ready to give up. Never believe that your faithfulness is wasted. I am using your life in ways that extend far beyond your own understanding. My child, I also want you to become wise in the choices you make. Not every opportunity is meant for you. Not every invitation carries my direction. There will be moments when saying no is an act of obedience, and there will be moments when stepping forward in faith requires courage beyond your comfort zone. That is why I ask you to remain close to me. My Spirit will guide you with peace. When confusion increases, return to my presence instead of rushing ahead. I will never lead you through fear or chaos. My direction brings clarity, even when every detail has not yet been revealed. Trust the peace I place within your heart. It will become a faithful guide as you continue walking with me. My child, do not allow discouragement to steal your expectation for the future. I know there were dreams you believed would never come to pass. I know there were moments when disappointment tempted you to stop believing altogether. But remember who I am. I specialize in bringing hope where hope has nearly disappeared. I can restore years that seem lost. I can create opportunities that no human effort could arrange. I can bring beauty from ashes and joy from seasons of mourning. Nothing is beyond my ability when it aligns with my perfect purpose. Continue believing even when the evidence has not yet appeared. Faith is not pretending that difficulties do not exist. Faith is choosing to believe that my promises are greater than every obstacle standing before you. My child, I want your heart to become a place where gratitude grows daily. Gratitude changes the way you see life. It reminds you of my faithfulness in the past while strengthening your confidence for the future. Every morning you wake is another reminder that my mercy is new. Every breath you take is evidence that my purpose for your life continues. Do not overlook the ordinary blessings while waiting for extraordinary ones. Celebrate the quiet moments of peace, the unexpected kindness of others, the strength to keep moving forward, and the grace that has carried you this far. As your gratitude grows, your faith will grow alongside it, and your heart will become increasingly aware of my presence in every season. My child, I have called you to shine with humility, compassion, and truth. You do not need to force your way into places I have not prepared. You do not need to compete for the recognition of people. What I have assigned to your life will reach you at the appointed time. Walk faithfully where you are today. Serve with joy. Love generously. Speak words that build others instead of tearing them down. Allow my light within you to become visible through your character more than your achievements. The greatest testimony is not found in what you possess, but in how closely you walk with me. As you remain faithful in the small things, I will continue opening greater opportunities according to my perfect timing. Keep your eyes on me rather than on the distractions around you. I am leading you toward a future filled with hope, purpose, and lasting peace. What I have promised, I will accomplish. What I have begun, I will complete. Trust me a little longer, because the journey ahead will reveal more of my goodness than you have yet imagined. If this message has encouraged your heart today, write asterisk, asterisk. I will follow where God leads asterisk, asterisk in the comments as your declaration of faith. And stay with me, because in the next part, I will reveal the beautiful future I am preparing for those who continue to trust me with all their heart. My beloved child, as you continue walking with me, I want you to remember that your greatest victories will not come because everything around you suddenly becomes perfect. They will come because your heart has learned to remain steady in my presence regardless of what is happening around you. There was a time when every unexpected challenge shook your confidence, when every delay caused you to question my plan, and when every closed door felt like a permanent defeat. But look at how far I have already brought you. You are stronger today than you were yesterday. Not because you have all the answers, but because you have learned that I remain faithful even when life feels uncertain. Every season has drawn you closer to me, and that closeness is producing a peace the world cannot understand. My child, never underestimate what I can accomplish through a heart that remains surrendered to me. I do not require extraordinary talent before I begin extraordinary work. I simply ask for willingness. When you place your life in my hands, I can multiply what seems small, strengthen what feels weak, and restore what appears lost. Throughout your journey, there will always be voices trying to convince you that you are not enough, that your dreams are too big, or that your purpose belongs to someone else. Do not listen to those voices. Listen to mine. I have called you by name. I know every gift I have. I know every weakness that still needs my strength. And I know every victory waiting ahead. You do not have to prove your worth to anyone because your identity has already been established in my love. Walk with quiet confidence, not because you trust in yourself, but because you trust in me, my child. There are moments approaching that will remind you why you never should have given up. You will recognize my hand in conversations that open unexpected doors. You will see answers arrive in ways you never imagined. You will discover that what once seemed impossible was only waiting for the right season, according to my wisdom. When those moments come, remember to remain humble. Do not allow success to replace dependence upon me. The blessings I give are meant to draw your heart closer to me, not farther away. Continue seeking my presence above every earthly achievement. Continue thanking me not only for what I provide, but also for who I am. Gratitude keeps your heart aligned with my purpose and reminds you that every good gift has its source in my love. My child, I also want you to become a light in a world that desperately needs hope. There are people around you who smile on the outside while quietly carrying burdens much heavier than anyone realizes. Just as I have comforted you, I will use you to comfort them. Speak words that encourage rather than discourage. Offer kindness when others choose criticism. Extend forgiveness where resentment seems easier. Pray for those who are hurting. Listen to those who feel forgotten. Every act of love reflects my heart. Never believe that your compassion is insignificant. The smallest act of kindness can become the turning point in someone else's story. I will use your testimony to remind people that I remain faithful in every generation. The pain you once questioned will become the very message that strengthens another weary heart. My child, do not become distracted by temporary things. The world often measures success by possessions, popularity, and recognition. But my kingdom measures greatness through faithfulness, humility, and love. Store your treasures where they cannot fade. Invest your time in what has eternal value. Build your life upon my truth instead of changing opinions. When storms come, and they will, you will remain standing because your foundation has been built upon me. Do not fear the future, for I have already prepared the way before you. Continue taking one faithful step at a time. Continue choosing obedience even when it requires sacrifice. Continue believing my promises when circumstances seem slow to change. Every day you walk with me is another step toward the beautiful future I have prepared for you. My child, I want your heart to overflow with expectation once again. Lift your eyes beyond today's struggles and remember that I am still the God who restores hope, renews strength, and opens doors according to my perfect will. Nothing that concerns you is too small for my attention. Nothing that troubles your heart is ignored by me. I hear every prayer, I understand every fear. I collect every tear. And I remain committed to completing the good work I have begun within you. So keep moving forward with courage. Keep trusting when the road seems uncertain. Keep praying with confidence instead of fear. Keep worshiping even before the answer arrives. Your faith is not in vain, and your labor in my name will never be forgotten. The story I am writing through your life will display my goodness in ways that will bless not only you, but also generations that follow after you. If these words have strengthened your faith today, write asterisk. Asterisk, God's plan is greater than my fears, asterisk, asterisk, in the comments as your declaration before the Lord. And remain with me until the very end, because in the final part, I will leave you with a prayer and a promise that you can carry into every new day with unwavering hope. My beloved child, as this message comes to a close, I want you to leave with one truth firmly planted in your heart. You have never walked a single step of your journey alone. Even during the seasons when my voice seemed quiet, my hand was still leading you. Even when your prayers were answered differently than you expected, my love for you never changed. I have watched over every chapter of your life, from your greatest joys to your deepest sorrows, and I have been faithfully working through every moment to shape a future filled with hope. There were days when you believed your strength was gone, yet I carried you. There were nights when your tears became your only language, yet I understood every unspoken word. There were moments when you questioned your purpose, yet I never questioned my purpose for you. My child, I have always known who you are because I created you with intention. You are not an accident. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are deeply loved, completely known, and forever held within my care. When the world changes, I remain constant. When people disappoint you, my faithfulness never fails. When circumstances become uncertain, my promises remain secure. That is why you can face tomorrow with confidence instead of fear. Your future is not resting in chance. It is resting in my hands, and my hands have never failed those who place their trust in me. My child, I know there will still be challenges ahead. I never promised that life would be free from storms, but I did promise that I would never leave you to face them alone. Every mountain that stands before you will become another opportunity to witness my faithfulness. Every valley will become a place where my comfort surrounds you. Every unanswered question will eventually become another testimony of my perfect timing. Do not lose heart when progress seems slow. The greatest trees grow patiently. The strongest foundations are built one stone at a time. In the same way, I have been building your faith through every season you have walked. The strength you now carry did not appear overnight. It was formed through every prayer, every act of obedience, every moment you chose hope instead of despair, and every time you trusted me when the path ahead remained hidden. Nothing you have endured has been wasted. Every lesson has prepared you for the life I am calling you to live. As you move forward from this day, guard your heart carefully. Protect your mind from voices that fill it with fear, comparison, or hopelessness. Instead, fill your thoughts with my truth. Remember my faithfulness when doubts begin to rise. Remember how many times I have already carried you through situations that once seemed impossible. If I was faithful then, I will be faithful again. Speak words of life over yourself and over those around you. Choose forgiveness when bitterness knocks at your heart. Choose gratitude when discouragement tries to steal your joy. Choose love when the world encourages division. These choices may seem small, but they carry eternal significance. They reflect my character within you, and they prepare your heart for the blessings I desire to entrust to you. My child, continue seeking me every day. Not because you fear losing my love, but because my presence is where your soul finds true rest. Let prayer become your first response instead of your last resort. Open my word and allow it to shape your thinking. Spend quiet moments listening for my voice above the noise of the world. As you remain close to me, you will discover that peace is no longer something you occasionally experience. It becomes the atmosphere in which you live. You will begin recognizing my guidance in ordinary moments. You will notice opportunities that once passed unnoticed. You will develop wisdom that comes not from human understanding but from walking daily with me. This relationship is the greatest gift I offer you, for everything else flows from it. I also want you to remember that your life has purpose beyond what you can currently see. The kindness you show, the encouragement you offer, the faith you continue to demonstrate, and the compassion you extend to others are all becoming part of a legacy that will outlive you. Someone will believe again because they watched you remain faithful. Someone will discover hope because you refuse to give up. Someone will come to know my love because they first experienced it through your words and your actions. Never underestimate the influence of a life surrendered to me. I can use ordinary moments to accomplish extraordinary things. So walk into this new day with courage, lift your head with confidence, release every burden you have been carrying, and place it into my hands once again. I will continue leading you when the road is uncertain. I will continue strengthening you when you feel weak. I will continue comforting you when your heart is heavy. I will continue opening the doors that belong in your life and gently closing the ones that do not. Trust my wisdom, trust my heart. I am working even now in ways you cannot yet imagine, and the story I am writing through your life is far from finished. Before you go, let us pray together. Heavenly Father, thank you for every person listening to these words today. Fill their hearts with your peace that surpasses all understanding. Strengthen them where they feel weak, comfort them where they are hurting, and remind them daily that they are never alone. Give them wisdom for every decision, courage for every challenge, and faith to trust you even when they cannot yet see the outcome. Restore hope where disappointment has settled. Bring healing where there has been pain, and let your presence guide every step they take. May their lives become a reflection of your love, your grace, and your faithfulness. Protect them, lead them, and surround them with your perfect peace. We place every worry, every dream, and every tomorrow into your loving hands, believing that your plans are always good. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, amen. If this message has encouraged your heart today, take a moment to write amen in the comments as your prayer of faith. Share this message with someone who may need hope today. And remember this as you continue your journey. I am with you wherever you go. My love will never leave you. My mercy will never fail you, and my promises will stand forever. Walk forward in faith, for the best chapters of the story I am writing through your life are still ahead.